YouTube? Welcome back to New Rock City. I'm your host, Stephen Moss, and each week we bring you a brand new band, we interview them, and play some of their music. Today, we have a special guest from the New York tri-state area called Keep Flying. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Can you just introduce yourself and say what you do in the band, please?
I'm John. I play saxophone and jump around and do P90X workout on stage and scream sometimes.
And I'm Henry. I play guitar and I sing.
In episode 10, I had David Alexander from Carousel Kings on the show.
Let's go. Yeah. I've been thinking, give it up.
Well, after the show, I just kind of asked him, I said, hey, do you have any friends that you think would mind coming on the show? And he told me to reach out to you. So I just wanted to take a second to say thank you to David Alexander from Carousel Kings for helping getting this episode together.
You know, I think he texted me and said, hey, just so you know, I mentioned you in something. And I was like, all right.
Well, I have to admit, though, before he told me about you guys, I had actually not heard of Keep Flying before.
Good.
So this was pretty cool. So I listened to all your songs, and I really like your band.
Thank
you. Reminds me of a friend of mine because he has a band here in Nutley, New Jersey called Amigos Amigos. And it's hard for him to, kind of describe what their sound is because they also have brass instruments in their band. So kind of like jokingly, he just tells everyone, we're just like a heavy mariachi band.
God bless.
So I would just kind of thinking it was similar because it would be hard to put a label on your style, but I'm wondering, how would you describe it?
Well, shout out Nutley, shout out mariachi, shout out Amigos Amigos. It's punk rock. It's pop punk, but it's not. I'm fine with letting anyone define it how it's going to be. The way that Motion City uses a synth.
Yes.
Or the yellow card uses the violin, we use the horn section. Do you know what I mean?
I had a question for John to see if this was true. When I was reading up on you guys, I read that you were originally asked just to play a couple songs for the saxophone, but you liked the song so much that you asked to join the band. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's pretty right.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty accurate.
Henry and I were hanging out. There was lots of discussion about a lot of things. We became much closer friends. We were always friends. We became closer. And then when he sent me back what his new songs were and said, I'd like you to play sax on these songs, it was like, yeah, no brainer. And then at the studio, it was like, I want to do this. I've never been in a band since day one. Like every band that I've been in that's had any sort of minor success, I joined later. And that was like a call for me to finally be in something from the very beginning.
I remember the conversation. We were outside of barbershop, the studio, and you were like, these are so good. Like, why don't we do this? Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Well, I have more than the normal amount of songs that I want to play for you guys, so I kind of want to get one in early. But my favorite song is Bargaining, so I just wanted to start with that one. What can you tell us about that song and video?
The song, well, let me go this way. There are the 5 stages of grief. There's denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And so there are 2 songs that are called Denial and Anger that exist from previous projects. My brother, who is since moved on from the band, conceived those 2 initial songs. It was the initiated this one, and we wrote this one together lyrically. And so this is like part 3 of a series of songs that exist. And this one is about our dad specifically, who had passed on kind of, I don't want to say prematurely because he wasn't super young, but it was very sudden. And so, he and I really drew from him passing on, I think at that point it was 6 or 7 years. And so that's where the song lyrically comes from. And the video, John, if you want to take that part.
The video is pretty literal as far as the lead, who happens to be our old bass player, who we've had in the universe of a few videos at this point now. He loses his father in the video, and it's him going through those same stages that Henry was talking about, and he had this gift that was left for him that he never opened from his father, that he keeps not being able to open it because he never opened it before his father passed, unfortunately. And eventually he builds up and musters the strength and fortitude and mental stability to just say, screw it and open that box and see what's in there. And you're left with him smiling laughing, smirking, wondering what is in there.
So here's Bargaining by Keep Flying. All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Your horn parts go so well with the songs. Is the writing process a little different from the horns than guitar, or what's that like for you guys?
It's kind of yeah, I will say. I can't remember that one specifically, John. Maybe you can, but like when I'm coming up with the skeleton of the song, I rarely have a horn idea. It's just because not my department. I try to build enough that the rest of the band. I try to build a foundation so the rest of the band can use their skills on the rest of it.
It's definitely changed from record to record, but I definitely have a like good system now with the Unbreakable EP. I actually spent a lot of time in New Jersey looping demos of these songs, writing horns in advance, which then when we went to the studio, we did change around a little bit. So the horns changed a little. Whereas with our newer record, Survival, mostly all the horns were written in the studio. We had those demos.
Oh, wow.
And it was great to have them in advance, but it wasn't until we really did the pre-pro that late at night, once Henry and Peter had locked down scratch tracks and drums, and we knew where vocals were going, where was I able to throw horns in places where there aren't vocals or lead guitar, and then also make it so that it makes sense with any lead guitar or vocals. Otherwise, it's just, at least for me, it would be just a waste of time. You know what I mean? If I write a horn part
Gotcha.
and then, oh, there's vocals there. Okay, we got to scrap that because you got to it's got to complement the vocals. You know, vocals are more important to me.
Unless the
But-
part is like so good, horns are usually the last to go. So it
Yeah,
makes sense for it to
last.
be
Gotcha.
the literal cherry on top.
On your albums, you've had flutes, accordions, baritone sax, trombones, trumpets. With all of those instruments, how do you decide which new instruments that you want to add? Like, what is that process like for you?
It's on the fly, really.
It's on the fly.
Yeah, I mean, everything you just said is mostly survival.
Okay.
And when Henry had a rough idea of the songs, it was definitely like a combo of like, yo, we should have the flute, like our friend Morgan play the flute, like actually record here at the end of the record, and let's have our friend Rick play trumpet, just because this is like a part that repeats and it would be really pretty. And the Barry sax we actually had used on Follow Your Nightmares, but it got mixed so low you can't even hear it. And we might have had a smattering of it also on Unbreakable. But again, I wanted to definitely make sure that we used that this time around, because Barry fattens it up, and we peppered it in on every track. Like Survival, there's Barry sax on every single track, but not every single part. It's peppered in places
Okay.
where it sounds good, where it could be more full.
Like my favorite thing about you guys is that you have this love of music videos that you don't really see anymore. And I myself have 1,309 music videos on Apple Music. But I noticed
I didn't
yours
even know
is
that
not-
was. I didn't know you could even save music. Can we put music videos up there, John? Can we do that?
Well,
Let's
that
do
was my question for you, because yours isn't on there. I was gonna ask if you had planned in the future to add your videos on Apple Music.
I didn't
Now
even
we
know
do.
you.
Now we
I know.
can. Maybe it's because we love the medium, but also understand that it's not so much something that everybody loves like we do. Yeah, maybe we didn't look at everything that we could, but we can. Why not? Maybe I'm biased. I'm a Spotify user, so maybe it's just
Okay.
because I'm unfamiliar with the platform.
Because I love Apple Music, and the music videos are just like the audio. So I can download it to my phone. I can keep it in the cloud.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, so like just how you have people's songs on Spotify, you can also have their videos on Apple Music.
I
Okay.
love how out of touch we are. That's
I'll-
great.
Else look at that, because I don't even have Spotify. I suck. I use Bandcamp.
Okay.
I use
Bandcamp
YouTube.
and YouTube.
Gotcha.
That's cheers, bro. Okay, we'll do that. We'll literally look at that tonight, because that's fine.
Awesome.
And I don't see why we wouldn't do that.
Um,
The answer is
but-
yes. We will put our videos on there. So yeah.
Good deal. Because you guys put a lot of work into your videos. Like one of the things that I was reading is when you were doing your Walkabout EP, you did your videos in such a way where each member had like their own spotlight for a video, and that each member kind of like even came up with the concept behind it. That's pretty
Yeah,
amazing.
this guy really did his research. I love to see it.
Thank
That's
you.
incredible. That's true.
I have nothing to say, but that's true.
That's it.
You kind of touched on it, but my question was, why are music videos so special to you? Like, because you seem to go way out of your way to really dive into that when most artists just ignore the videos nowadays.
I have an answer. Do you have an
Go ahead.
answer?
I have one too. You go.
I think it's because the two of us are really old, and
What?
we. I mean, in the context of this music landscape, I think at some point,
Gotcha.
we come from a different time when I think John and I were still watching MTV.
I'm older than both of you, so I get it.
Fair enough.
That's
But
true.
like, really,
Yeah, I'm 37.
bro.
I would never know.
That
Oh,
rocks.
thank you.
Yeah, great.
Well,
Um,
that's awesome.
I don't know. I just think that we really value it as an art form. I'm not saying other bands don't. I just think that there's something to be said about them, and they're fun. I mean, it's a cool thing to do. It's another thing that we do that sets us apart. Even to be fair, it's not like we get like a shit ton of views over there, but like it's just something we like to do. It's another outlet for us.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit recently. Like, we have the time, and we're very blessed with our friend Jesse, who's basically a member of the band, who is an amazing photographer, videographer, editor,
Oh, nice.
who likes to do these music videos for us, also helps come up with ideas and helps facilitate. And at the end of the day, like we talked about it recently as a band, like, why wouldn't we? We have nothing else to do. Why not do another one? Why not do another one? Like, it's just, we might as well do stuff, because as you know, people just want content, whatever it is, and they move on from things. You know, I seen there was music that went up today that 3 days from now, no one's going to be talking about. That's just what happens. You know what I mean? Like, it's just how it goes. So why not just keep going? Again, to piggyback off what Henry said, we aren't getting an incredible amount of views on the videos. It's not like our videos do so well, they're all viral. But hey, you know what? You never know. Maybe one day one of them does, and then people go backwards and watch all the old stuff. I don't know.
Our fans like it.
Yeah.
Our community likes it, and we like it.
It's we're in this weird space right now, given where we're at with the pandemic, that the way that our band kind of gains new people is with shows. So at least in my opinion, I think our best way of gaining eyes and ears is the show. You know, we're working on being more connected with the social media world, but you know, it is what it is. That since we don't have that at our disposal right now, it's nice to do something for the people that are sticking with us. So it's like, if you're in here, you know, which everybody is welcome to be in our world here, this is something that we give you. And if you want to show somebody else, great. But it's something that we like to do and our people like, and so we will continue to do that.
Eventually, Henry's going to have kids. I got nieces and nephews. It's going to be nice for them to just years from now be like, check out all this cool stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
Look at dad being funny. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. To me, that's alone worth it. Now,
Well, to me,
us,
they're very special because I remember as a kid, you know, staying up late and watching Headbangers Ball
Yes.
and all those shows where they had interviews and music videos. And that's kind of what I try to do with my show, is interviews and music videos, because that's very nostalgic to me.
that's awesome.
The next video I want to play is one of the coolest videos I've ever seen, and it's John's video for Miranda. What can you tell us about that?
The video or the song or both?
Both.
I'll have Henry take the song.
Miranda. Let's take a second to remember which one that is. Okay, I got it. It's been a minute. Miranda is the closest to. I'm not really a political guy. I mean, I know stuff, but I'm not really interested in being like an activist so much in this band or anything like that. But I am affected by the world we live in. And my worldview is a little cynical, and I wish I was prepared. I usually get warm about this one. This is one of my favorites. Well, okay, I'll take it from the title. My band is very inspired, at least my lyrics are, and the band name itself is inspired by the show Firefly and the movie Serenity. Not sure if you're familiar with the lore of that, but Miranda is the name of it's like a sci-fi thing, so excuse me, I'm going to sound really fucking nerdy for a minute. It's a fake planet that was terraformed by humans to be like a paradise. So what they did was they used kind of like a control method to kind of keep people peaceful and compliant. And what ended up happening was it kind of backfired and made everybody crazy, and they turned into like evil zombie people, and everybody got killed. So there are ways, I think, in society that are control methods. And this is where I go off on about QAnon and stuff. I'm kidding. So, but there are definitely methods of control used in our American society. And so I kind of spoke about that lyrically, and how I don't like to, even by nature, don't conform with usually how humans kind of fall in line and all these things. I'm not saying I'm a fucking rebel, bro, but it's just, I question a lot of things. I'm analytical. And so I think ultimately we try to be better animals than like things we look down on, but we are animals. that hard. I can go on forever, so I'm gonna cut it short so you can go with the video. But that's the basis of everything.
That's very cool.
The video kind of goes basically with everything Henry said about the compliance. You know, it's clearly a very culty video, like a cult theme. You're watching a pre-story of these characters being brought into whatever this culty organization is, with my character being the last one. And then at the end of the video, it's clear that I am now out doing, you know, the adding of new people to this cult. And it's, you know, when I'm tied to the chair, I'm being forced to watch this video. That comes from Lost, a scene or a series of scenes where they are using mind control, like subconscious, with forcing these characters to keep their eyes open. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much brainwashy, culty vibe for the video, which we've clearly revisited once already with Interstate.
I noticed in that video too that the word parivar, which is family in Hindi, and
Yes.
you had namaste. You had some. So with the Hindi words, does anyone in the band speak Hindi?
I just became obsessed with the culture.
Oh, right on.
There's a person in my life that means a lot to me who's Indian, and I just became very, very, very interested.
Kya aap Hindi bolte hai?
Say it again.
Kya aap Hindi bolte hai?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, I just said, do you speak Hindi?
I do not.
The answer is no.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It was the first time in a really long time that I was like, I'm curious about your faith.
Gotcha.
And I just kept, I mean, it went on for more than a year of me just constantly having questions, looking things up at night. The family is used because you wouldn't know this, but all the characters in the video itself are members of my family. They're all my actual family.
Gotcha.
So though the idea is just like it's people in a cult, for me, it's actually my whole family. But yeah, that's just that makes sense to me. I was raised Roman Catholic by an Italian family. And I love them, and I love that they have their faith. But like learning about that makes way more sense to me. I was at that moment, I was very deep in when we were like writing the script for that. I was like, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this. I asked my friend, can you send it to me what it is? Send me the spelling, how to write it. I'll have it put in the video.
Yeah, I thought that was super cool because my wife and I, we read and write Hindi. So I just wasn't expecting it. So it caught me off guard. I'm like, oh, that's so cool. There's Hindi in the video.
You are the first and only person to ever say something about it. So that means
nice.
a lot to me and my friend, most likely.
Oh, right on. Well, very cool. So here is the video for Miranda by Keep Flying.
taking packs and we're killing together. They tell us they think they can make people better. We can't, cause this is all we are. This is all we are. This is all we are. This is the best we can do, and we can never improve, cause this is all we are. This is all we are. Whoa, 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 oh, whoa, 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 oh, whoa, 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 oh, whoa, whoa. This is all we are.
And welcome back to the show, everyone. John, in another interview, I saw that you had said that you would rather do podcast interviews than any other form of interview. What is it about the podcast format that you like so much?
You're just firing back and forth with usually not a lot of prep. Even like this style, though it is over a Zoom, it's
Mhm.
like I'm on here with my friend Henry and with my friend Steven, and I feel like I feel safer. I don't know how to explain it. I'm way more comfortable. It feels more natural, and it feels versus like sending an email or something, or like somebody asking, like Henry was saying, the same 3 questions. Like it's
Mhm.
more riffing and
Gotcha.
ad-libbing, which is what I'm good at personally, you know?
I'm far more interested in like a give and take conversation than just I'm not putting don't take offense to this, but just the question answer thing. So it's like
Gotcha.
I just think there's more to learn that way, and I think that it's oddly. I mean, maybe I'm not listening to enough music podcasts, but I don't think it's something that the music world does super well. And I should say, at least speaking for me, I like to do it as a guest. I've teetered back and forth and doing something on my own.
That was my question. Since you guys like it so much, have you thought about doing your own band podcast?
I have. What I might do, and what's still on the table, at least for me, is to do like a limited series based on one scope of conversation, maybe.
Okay.
Like it not like one topic, but just keep it limited. I don't want to do just an open-ended long form thing that can kind of go anywhere.
Gotcha.
At least for me, I'm not terribly interested in like, I'd rather have people wonder what I think than tell them exactly what. It's not that I think crazy shit. I'm not really into QAnon. I made a joke about it earlier, but I'm not. I love the documentary though. I love to learn, but it's just like I don't know. I think now, especially the market's really flooded. I just think there's so much now. I think it's really saturated, and so it's like, what could I bring to this space that wouldn't be there? Love to guest though. Big on guesting. Would be a guest on almost anybody's show.
Now, you guys are all in different states. Is that correct?
Brother.
Yes.
Where are we not located, bro? That's what I'm saying to you. Where are we not located?
How do you guys handle practices and rehearsals then? Like, what's that like?
I don't think we've ever had a band practice in the history of Keep Flying.
Really?
That's
Wow.
not really a brag. That's not a brag. In fact, if you come see our show, you would agree. But it's like,
There's been a few times where we, like, before the first show, try to run it, and we ghost jam like in the parking lot. We trust that everyone like rehearses at home. There's been like a handful of times where when we lost members, we were like, okay, we need to get together and rehearse because we have someone filling in. But like a lot of times it's like day one of the first show.
Wow.
And
I don't think I've ever heard that before. That's really interesting.
Yeah, like Henry said, it's not really a brag. It's just is
Just
what
the way
it is.
Yeah, I got you.
I am now in South Carolina, so
Okay.
the idea of just linking up and jamming is really not happening.
Gotcha.
Short of doing something the day before we do something, but but even before then, we're in 3 or 4 different states. So
Well, I noticed like whenever someone would describe your band, they would always say, like New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania.
Yes.
exactly.
Who was from Jersey? Was that Pete?
And Henry.
And me.
Oh, you're from Jersey too.
I just moved here. I just moved to Columbia, South Carolina in December. But but I lived in Warren County most of my life, and
Oh, that's out west.
and oh yeah, and Morris County for
Gotcha.
the most recently. So, but I've been there. I've been here all my life.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I live in Clifton, like right on the border of Clifton and Passaic.
I figured because you brought up a band from Nutley, so I was like, all right. But my family's from my mom's from Glen Ridge initially. She moved out. She lived in Newark, and my dad's from East Orange. So
Very
I've-
cool.
I've lived around and been around in Jersey, and very proud, especially now that I'm out there. I don't want to live there anymore,
Bro, it's
Very
gonna
proud.
only get more interesting. Like Rick lives in Buffalo, but he will be moving to Denver this year.
Wow. So
And-
you guys really are going to be all over the place.
Chuck is thinking about moving to Nashville.
Yeah, Chuck's in Philly, but there's like a 50% chance he moves to Nashville in June. To be completely honest, I spent half of every month in Florida during COVID. So like very likely that I end up there, like between Long Island and Orlando. So
That's
You've been talking about that for a long time too.
long
So,
time. I'm just the classic Italian person from the Northeast who wants to be in Florida. That's just who I am. I accept it.
I try
That
to
is
keep
perfect.
all of my questions related to your music. Although there's just one that I have to make an exception on.
Sure.
Because I came across a pretty funny story, one of your tour stories about when you were in Hamilton, Ontario on Mother's Day. Can you relate that?
My God, that was with
Is
Wig.
this the Devil's Punch Bowl story?
Yes.
Fuck yeah. All right.
Should we bring
That's a
Wig
good
on?
one.
Should we bring him
Should we
in?
call Wig? I'll send him the link if he wants to come on. I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
if it works.
that story was just too good not to ask you about.
That's real. The short of that story, we hiked the wrong way down the Devil's Punch Bowl in Hamilton. There was a trail. We didn't know that. Half of us went down.
Bro,
We
I
stu-
scaled the wall. It's a wall. It's straight up. I
it's
just dropped down the wall.
Eventually, we saw people at the bottom and said, "There's no way people came down this way. How could? Oh, the trail's on the other side of the canyon. Great." But yeah, we got down, I don't know, 20 feet, and we felt like rocks hitting us, mostly our old bass player. And we felt it again like 2 minutes later, and we couldn't see because the overhang, and we just started yelling because we thought it was like kids kicking rocks because at the top there's like a little guardrail and people stand there. And then we started seeing flowers being thrown down, and then we shimmied about 15 feet to the right and realized that there was a human being dumping another human being's remains into the canyon and onto us. That
Oh, man.
is, I don't know, you can't make that up.
Yeah.
Ash stain does not come out. The stain of ashes will not
Doesn't
come out.
come out.
Didn't come out for the rest. That
Oh,
tour
man.
was long. It never came out.
I
They
just
had-
died laughing when I heard that because in the Pete was the one telling about it on the video YouTube clip of tips from touring or something. I can't remember which video it was.
Right.
And he was just like, I just was, yelling. I picture him yelling up at this kid, "I'm gonna kick your ass."
Yeah, that's
Yes.
exactly what he did because we thought they were just kicking rock.
Oh man.
We thought somebody was fucking
No
with us.
point, at no point did they see us ever. Even once the ashes were being dumped in full, they still never saw us, never heard us. They could not see us.
Oh, they didn't hear you. Okay, that's
No,
cool.
never ever saw us. They just were going about their day as if they were just doing a nice thing, spreading the ashes into the canyon, but not knowing they were dumping them onto other human beings.
That's hilarious. Well, thank you for saying that. I want to play another song. This one that I wanted to play is "Misbehave." What can you tell us about that song and video?
Well, this song, hang on, I'm just checking on my pizza. This song was a song that existed for my previous band called Survey Says. And I liked it so much that when we formed Keep Flying, I wanted to bring it over and keep playing it. Because like I said, one band ended and this one started. And so we even played some of the other songs from that band that made sense to play in this one in the very beginning. So this one I wanted to re-record. Well, the video we shot in quarantine. This one was going to be mine for the Walkabout one, but I am not all that skilled in creating video ideas. Admittedly, I can't get my visions across, so I just figured we'll do it for this one and get it out of the way. It's your basic early quarantine video. We know the vibe. So that's all I can say about that. But this song, a lot of the lyrics are things that my mom used to say
okay.
just throughout me growing up. The nice. The bundle of contradictions thing is something she would always say. How does the bridge go? Fuck, I can't remember. I don't know. That's the one that's coming to mind. But a lot of these lyrics are stuff that like my mom would say about either herself or me, throughout me, growing up. And the sum of my experience. That's it. She would always say that. She'd always say that everybody is the sum of their experience. So I used a lot of like lessons that she would, taught me and things she would frequently say in this song, which, made it mean a lot to me and wanted to keep playing it. So, and the title comes from the same movie that Miranda does. It's a quote. The full quote is "I aim to misbehave," but in this version we cut it to just "misbehave." So there you go.
Very cool. All right, so here is the video for "Misbehave" by Keep Flying.
I'm a masochistic optimist, scared of everything I'm up against, and I can't find solid ground with my head up in the clouds. Sometimes I don't wanna be here, but I'm looking for acceptance, searching for some common sense in a bundle of contradictions. And when your life is spent coping with living, can you really call that living at all? And can you be sure that you have perspective while you're shielding your life from it all? So take me as I am, and you can take my hand while I talk about the long run, while I can barely stand. And I'll make the best laid plans, 'cause this is who I am. Just someone trying to make sense of what I don't understand. I don't understand. It's like a stress test to have a normal conversation. Too much anger and frustration at the surface. And all that I am facing is mixed up alright relationships. And the toll that this is taking is obvious. And when you spend your life coping with living, can you really call that living at all? And can you make any progress with your back against the wall? So take me as I am, and you can take my hand while I talk about the long run, while I can barely stand. And I'll make the best laid plans, 'cause this is who I am. Just someone trying to make sense of what I don't understand. I'm the sum of my experience, plus all the places that I've been. I hope that's enough in the end. Divided by the pain I feel, plus all the love that makes this real. I hope that's enough in the end. I'm the sum of my experience, plus all the places that I've been. I hope that's enough in the end. Divided by the pain I feel, plus all the love that makes this real. I hope that's enough in the end. In the end.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. I love that your attitude and excitement that you guys have for live shows. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. You guys even play like house shows, and you had even said before that the smaller the venue, the better. What makes those smaller venues so special compared to like the larger ones?
You know what? I'll tell you this. The first house show that Keep Flying played, that was the show for me. That was in, I think it was October of 2016 or September. That was the show that made me go, well, I was in, but I was fully in then. It took a few months.
Gotcha.
That was when it was.
Hold up. Was that the one in Columbia, South Carolina?
All I remember is that it was a house show, and that after I like teared up and was like, I'm so happy.
I am more than certain that was at Richard's house in Columbia, South Carolina, which makes
Well,
that's where I am right now.
whole sad senile brain can't remember anything, and it blends everything as one thing. So when I think of house shows, they're all merged into one.
All good. I don't remember my name.
You know what it is, man? The idea that we have to walk into a place and look at the ceiling and see how low it is, and then not only that, but pry nails out of the ceiling prior to performing because we see that they're out, and that if we start jumping, will actually cause injury, is exciting. And people come into a house show, normally it's free. So if they want to donate, it's their choice to donate. Normally, I don't drink, but people who drink, they get to bring their own booze or whatever. So they're more inclined to like have fun, kick it, and enjoy themselves. And generally speaking, people are just having a freaking ball. And the space is so damn small that everyone's just sweating. And there is something to say about playing to 2,000 people or getting on stage at a festival and playing to 5,000 to 10,000 people. Sure, no discredit, but like playing in a 40-person basement with 50 people, you can't recreate that. Everybody is, you see everyone's face genuinely is just so happy. They don't even know the band half the time. They don't even know the songs. They're just having a good time, you know? So that fires me up. And I'm certainly looking forward to those in the back half of this year, as well as any sort of like backyard show, DIY show, anything that's like unconventional. They're always such a blast because it's always, how are we going to navigate this? They got one mic. How are we going to make this work? What are we going to do here? You're frustrated for 5 minutes and then you're like, who cares? Who cares?
Well, it's funny you said unconventional because there's something that stuck out to me when I was looking up some of your past shows. You guys did a loading dock of a screen printing place. What was that like? That had to be awesome.
South by Southwest.
Brother, that was one of the best shows we've ever played as a band.
That sounds
100%.
phenomenal.
South by Southwest, unofficial. It was supposed to be at an actual place. It got moved 3 times. This was the best that the promoter could come up with. The drum kit was on the dock. Everyone else was on the ground, and the people were just in the parking lot. And the cops, it went all day, and the cops actually showed up during our set in the back half, and they let us finish, and then they moved the show inside, which was still good.
Oh,
and
that's cool.
Got to still kill it inside, but like there was something to say about us just, I mean, I still look at those pictures and see clips from that show, and my God, all of our Texas people were there for South by, plus friends from all over who flew in, and everyone showed up, and ours was an unofficial one. It wasn't even official. That was truly a blessing. Like that could have been crap. And it was just everyone outside having a freaking blast. Legit, that night, I made some like lifelong friends that I met for the first real time at that show.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yes, that one's an invaluable, that is a priceless show to me.
Now, even when you do the larger ones, I read that like when you did Warped Tour, you still asked for the smaller tent. Is that correct?
That year we were playing the tent concrete, like the ground stage, and they asked us if we wanted to move to one of the stages, and we said no.
Wait, this is for which show?
This was
Warped Tour.
2018 Long Island.
Right.
We were going up against like an actual band. I want to say it was Census Fail or something. And I knew that like if we played that stage, we would just be like another band on the stage. But if we played the tent, at the end of the day, we could be one of the bigger bands in that tent and really catch people's eye. And I mean, I'm glad we did, because still to this day, we have people. I first saw you at that tent. It was crazy. I couldn't actually even see you the whole set. I saw you at no point because I couldn't, too many people.
The thing is about and this is for listeners who may not have ever seen our show before. and it's hard to capture on video. We need like some real good fucking live videos, and there's some, but our energy is such that it's molecular. It's like the more we get close into everybody, the hotter it is, the more the energy just bounces off of everybody. It's infectious. It sounds like I'm being pretentious by saying it this way, but it's true. Like whatever it is that we're putting out there resonates with people enough that they have to get on the same energy level as us. They have to get on our level. So it makes it erupt, especially when everybody is tightly in there. And if it's a house show or a small stage or something like that, it only makes it that much more contagious. Really doesn't work out when there's a really contagious disease that's ravaging through the fucking world, which makes us feel bad. But like, it's, it works like that. I hate to compare it to COVID, but it'd be like that.
Like you just seem like a very visual band when you're on stage, even with like the clothing and how you incorporate that. And even some of your fans incorporated the all white at some of your shows.
That was
from the video
that happened when they showed up on that one of those, like those last two shows in the all white to match us.
Did you know that was going to happen?
No.
Oh, cool.
Not only that,
Nice.
they had confetti poppers with white confetti that I had no idea that they were going to launch them during our set. And there is a video of that, and it's awesome. I think Jesse put it in like a recap video from that weekend. Yeah, man. I mean, we put on a show. It's something we always say. It's like musically on stage, we're probably at like 85% because we're at 200% performance. So
Gotcha.
For us to sacrifice a little bit of the sound for way more of the actual like chaotic energy of the live show. I mean, we do the same show whether we're playing to 8 people or 800 or 2000. That's something we pride ourselves on. Like, okay, there's no one here, let's still perform like we performed. I think it's very important that we do that, because those 3 people in Pensacola now will support the band for forever, because we gave them the same show and it was only 3 of them versus playing to 1,000 people opening for 4 year, so.
Cole's a great example because there's ride or dies that are down there right now because we did that.
Yeah.
That's
like
awesome.
they will be lifelong family of the band. Like, I don't even consider them fans anymore because we know all these people on a first name basis, some of them last name. And we reach out to them individually, like randomly, like on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Like, these are people that we like trust, who trust us for a good time. So it's another reason why we like to play any market, because man, sometimes the D, E, and F market is just better for us than the A and B. Like, that's just how it is sometimes. We'll go to Columbia, Missouri and have a better show than St. Louis or Springfield or Kansas City. And that's the smallest of the 4. Same with the Panhandle in Florida. It's a place that bands just don't go, but we go there and we have a great time.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that you put so much into your shows.
Fellas, I'm gonna hop off for this last one because it's dinner time.
Ask
Very
him
nice.
one more. Ask him one more.
Doing one more then. Make it good.
Okay. I read that on your new EP, you have what you described as your baby, and because it was an experiment. The song Fashion Statement.
I gotta tell you real quick, this is the best. This is like the best one I've ever done. He actually like researched everything I've ever said, and then hits me with it. It's good.
Well,
I'm
thank you.
really stoked. I'm really stoked about this.
Well,
So-
don't like interview questions.
Yeah,
So
it's true. It's true. So, okay, I'm sorry I cut you off. What about Fashion Statement?
So I read that was your baby because it was an experimental song. What made you want to go into that avenue of just experimenting and throwing that out? Like, what was that process or mental process like?
I mean, I'm still in that mode. I really want to. I get lost in we're in this pop punk world, and I want to do. And I'm okay with that. I'm not putting it down. It's just that I don't want to be just that. With that song, I was really going for something. A lot of times, it's just okay. It kind of pieces come to me, and whatever happens. If it comes out this way, it's how it comes this way. I was going for the outcome. I was going for a certain outcome with this one, and it's not a giant departure from everything. I almost intentionally tried to make it like catchy and have it it's really based on like a real pop song structure, which a lot of my songs are, but like this one in particular, I really modeled it off of radio and dance pop in terms of its structure. And it doesn't sound like that. It's just, what if you took one of these songs that I do enjoy? I do like pop music. What if you take one of these songs and just do it the way that we would do it? And that's what I aimed for. And I was like, let me see if people respond well to this and how they respond well to this. There's nothing like contrived about it. It's not like I'm singing about something that I would never sing about. It still comes from an authentic place. It's not like something that's made for a different audience that's not ours. It's just that I wanted to structure it in a radio way while still keeping it keep flying. And so I was like, I hope people respond well to this, because I really put a lot of thought into how this one was going to come out.
Well, I know you were really nervous about it. How has the response been?
Oh, great. So it worked out. I no longer have that worry. So I was just, this record was a different lineup. Mm-hmm. There's different ways of going into this for me. This record in particular was written while I was very between places to live and in different life situations. Like a lot of change happened while I was conceiving these songs, and so all of it was different. It was all new ground for me, and for the whole record, that whole nervousness could apply to every song, because I was like, I hope that people respond to this. I'm in a new place. I hope that these people who've liked what we have done before respond well to what this is. And I wholeheartedly think that people did respond well. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I know you got to go. I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you putting a lot of effort into what we're talking about today.
Of course.
Again, I don't want to sound disrespectful to other people who have us on their shows. It's just that I really like to have interesting conversations if we're going to be out here. And so I really appreciate what you're doing. So hell yeah.
Thank you so much.
Have you ever seen us live?
I have not, no.
All right. We'll see you soon then. All right.
But I definitely will catch you next time you're in the Jersey area.
Yeah, I mean, the band is based there, even though I'm here. The band is based there. We'll be there, man. Yeah. Right. Get that shot and then we'll come see you. All right.
Will do, man. See you at the next show. Thank you.
Cheers, man. Thank you so much. John, we'll talk about the Apple Music shit later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. All right, later.
Thank you.
That was a good question.
Thank you.
I will tell you that was the song that I think in the beginning was the sleeper, and now a lot of my friends tell me that's their favorite song on the record. So I like that, I'm excited to play all these songs in front of people. Mm-hmm. But I know that's Peter's favorite song on the EP. So
cool.
I'm pumped, man. I'll play anything though. At the end of the day, I don't care what the set list is. I never make the set list. He makes it. Gotcha. And Charlie used to make it.
It's a great song. It's very different, but I can't think of a tactful way to say it, because just saying, "Oh, that's different," that kind of sounds derogatory, and that's not what I mean.
No, I think it's understood. I mean,
okay,
it's definitely different. It's a different kind of song. Like Henry said at the beginning, it's genre fluid. Whatever, take that for what you will. That one leans definitely more towards like lighter. It's got more producing in it. It's got more it's got the radio effect in it. It's just a different kind of song.
So for everyone watching, here is Fashion Statement by Keep Flying.
I know nothing of fashion, I can barely see, but the colors are clashing, doesn't look good to me. Keep telling lies right before my eyes, don't look good for me. Just try honesty. Tell me, what are you going for? Over the top or less is more? You could have chosen something better than this, but I respect that risk. They say that clothes make the man. I wonder what kind of man I am. Someone losing their sanity. Dress up the truth like the people won't understand. So concerned about vanity. I know nothing of fashion, I can barely see, but the colors are clashing, doesn't look good to me. Keep telling lies right before my eyes, don't look good for me. Just try honesty. see. But the colors are clashing, doesn't look good to me. Keep telling lies right before my eyes, don't look good for me. Just try honesty. Why don't you try to look your best while the spotlight is on you? I think the audience is gonna see right through the face you're putting on. They know that it's not true. So curtains up, let's start the show. And pray that they will never know. The truth can be ugly, but the colors are true. And I'm trying to be something that's acceptable to you. Stop living lies, you don't have to try to look good to me. Just try honesty. Just try honesty. It looks good to me. Yeah, why don't you try to look your best while the spotlight is on you? I think the audience is gonna see right through the face you're putting on. They know that it's not true. So curtains up, let's start the show. And pray that they will never know.
Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get.
And welcome back to the show. Okay, that brings us to Reason. What can you tell us about that song and video?
DJ, our old trombone player, Henry's brother, wrote that song, and it's
Okay.
about their mother. Smile is about their mom, and the video is a literal take on the chorus. And we asked people that we care about, family members, friends, and people of the KF community, to send us a clip of them smiling. And to be honest, when that was fully edited, when Jesse edited that, I cried, because it was a genuine video of just happiness. All these people are happy. They're all people who support us, and we support them. The very beginning of the video starts with a little montage of a couple of friends that we've lost, unfortunately, and the very last thing in the video is DJ and Henry and DJ's mom. So
Gotcha.
I thought the video was a very simple but positive reinforcement to what the lyrics are, which is just, when I see your smile, it gives me a reason to breathe. So that's it.
Here is Reason by Keep Flying.
Honestly, the only thing that gives me comfort, you guys, is while I'm sitting at home, staring at the ceiling, just wishing that I had someone to talk to, is knowing that none of you idiots realize how lucky you are. Stuck in my head, only feel safe in my bed, but the anxiety is killing me. I just wanna fix all this. I'm just trying to do my best without sabotaging everything. But it's getting harder, turning nightmares into dreams. Life is the monster, it leaves me weak at the knees. I feel like I'm blind and there's no
substance is killing me. It's getting harder, turning nightmares into dreams. Life is the monster, it leaves me weak at the knees. I feel like I'm blind and there's no good to be seen. But when I see you smile, it gives me a reason to breathe. It gives me a reason to breathe. It gives me a reason to breathe. I'm stuck in routine. I need some kind of relief. A reason to breathe. I think I finally
All right, and welcome back to the show. So I want to talk about your new EP.
Yeah.
It's called Survival. And John, I read where you said, in quote, "Survival is the best the band has ever written."
Yeah.
In your opinion, what makes this so special?
We went through lineup changes. Henry worked on those songs for a long time, and then we as a band worked on those songs for a long time after that with our friends Nick and Ace who produce, and everyone at the end of that process was all on the same page. Like everyone walked out of there being like, wow, we wrote the best music we've ever written. It was the best recording experience you've ever had. Everyone was on the same page. There was no like, I think that's crap, or there was no argument, no arguing, no confrontation, no bullshit. It was just everyone getting in on the record what they wanted to get in, and all of us being able to walk away saying, well, that was a complete success. I can't wait to hear it mixed. And then our friend John at Nada mixed it fairly quick and mastered it, very few revisions, and it was done. It's the best work Keep Flying's ever done, but for me, it's the best work I've ever done across all my everything I've ever done. I did write all the horns by myself. That's the first time. Well, Unbreakable, I wrote most of the horns by myself as well, but Survival, I truly solely wrote the horns, came up with all the harmonies, had our friend Sam record them on trombone. He added minor changes here and there, but for the most part, I composed the horns for a record, and that to me was very special.
That's cool.
I almost am shocked at how well it came out, and I'm nervous about doing it again because I don't want to. Now I feel like there's a standard. So
Gotcha. You set the bar too high.
I think I'm nervous. I think the horn line at the beginning of Late Reply is the best horn line I've ever written.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Now this EP was recorded in South Jersey at a place called the Lumberyard, which is ran by Ace from the early November and Nick from Man Overboard.
Correct.
That's some really experienced high power there. How do you feel that this EP benefited by their experience?
They both work at the same time. So we were able to do more work in less time, because while Nick was recording some guitar stuff, lead guitar stuff, Ace was recording bass. And when Nick was working on horns, Ace was working on vocals, so that we could be split and also let the guys who sing have breaks on their throat, in between. That was the biggest gain from working with them on both these last two releases, as well as they both have their strengths, and having two people on the team that have different strengths made for us to have a better product. So that was an invaluable thing.
I read that Survival was the first release where everyone in the band did singing on the album. Is that correct?
That is true. A big thing that friends have said to us is, you use all these voices live, but on the recordings, it's always been just the two guys, Henry and his brother. And we had been wanting to kind of increase the use of the other vocals, but it just never happened that way because of differences in the studio. And with Survival, that was just out the window. We were finally like, oh, well, we're able to do whatever we want right here. So let's get Chuck doing all those crazy high harmonies. Let's get Charlie's voice that people love live, but we've never had it on recording. Let's get his voice on there. And then I was able to do a bit of the screaming, which was great.
Was this the first time you were on any of the albums?
No, I'm on Miranda as well.
Oh, okay.
And
Gotcha.
I did the high harmonies in High Cholesterol.
Okay.
On Walkabout. I did
Gotcha.
no vocals on Follow Your Nightmares, and I don't think I did any vocals on Unbreakable either. No,
Gotcha.
for sure I didn't. But we have another song that was recorded with Survival that's not out yet that actually is the first time all of the voices of KF are on one track together, because on the songs that I'm on Survival, Charlie and Chuck are not on. This song coming out, that's going to be like the first, we're going to be doing a few companion pieces to follow up Survival. Instead of going right to a record, we're going to do a few companion pieces that just complement Survival, since we're touring on that. And that's the first one that's done, and it has all of the voices. And moving forward, we are going to be using even more. I believe I'm going to do even more stuff, not just screaming, but singing. And Chuck's going to be doing a lot more singing as well.
Oh, nice.
So very excited about that.
I want to play one more song from you guys, Late Reply. And I want to talk about the video first, because you're from Long Island, right?
Yes.
I have a real issue with that video. And I want to know, how can you let that fly with you being from Long Island? There's a part in the video, it shows you guys in Times Square and you're eating Domino's pizza.
Yes.
How dare you, man?
And exactly that was the whole point.
That was the joke?
The whole point is it is a joke for us.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Also, classic KF fashion, we use whatever we have and to save a couple bucks, and we had ordered pizza for them to eat. So that was just the pizza that was getting used.
Oh, gotcha.
But
That's pretty funny.
after Jesse added the green screen effects, we were like, well, it's way more funny that it's like crappy bagel, crappy pizza. Yeah, that video was the most fun I've ever had shooting a video, because it was just us laughing the entire time. Because it's green screen behind us. So it's just us changing into costumes and doing things, and then not actually seeing what it's going to look like until a month and a half later when Jesse added in all the green screen stuff.
Oh, cool.
Came up with a list of 15 things. We made a Google Doc. What are 15 funny things that you'd like to have in the video? And then we made a huge list, and then we voted, and I think we narrowed it down to like 30. And then we got all the props. We were like, okay, we need props. And we spent a whole day getting whatever costuming and props and stuff. And Rick did a lot of the construction for like Charlie's astronaut outfit. It's just cardboard, like anything.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Rick, can you try to makeshift something out of the crap in the corner in the garage over there? And he did a great job. So
nice.
That was fun, man. That was really fun. And it was the first comedic video that we've done. All of our videos have always been serious, and we put on a comedic show, live show. We're usually funny. We make people laugh. So we've always wanted to go comedy, but it's just we've always had discrepancy amongst the band. But we finally felt like, let's just do it. And I think it's been one of the best reactions we've ever had to a music video. People were laughing. Like, this is silly.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
You guys are silly. And this is the real KF. The serious stuff is cool, but you guys doing this is like the you guys, you know?
Gotcha. Well, speaking about this song, I wanted to bring out before I play the video that Henry actually called it the jewel of the album.
Yes, I agree. It's right in the middle, and it's I in my opinion, it's the best song on the record. I think that could be a closer, like a set closer or a set opener. Like it starts off strong. Right into quiet with the vocals, and they're pretty powerful vocals, and then the chorus is just fun, man.
All right, well, here's the crown jewel of the album. Here is Late Reply by Keep Flying.
Overstimulated, can't concentrate on any moves I'm making. I'm so frustrated, I'm always anxious and the soul is vacancy. And I can't take it, so much to say. It shouldn't be this way. I'm giving signs, but I can't tell which way to go. This anger pulses, my brain convulses, going through the motions. And that's why I can't talk to anyone, and I would rather stay inside. So goodbye, I can't be reached at this time. If you call me, there'll be no reply. So don't even try, 'cause I'm good, and I've been this way for too long. and I don't know what to do first. Good feels bad, bad feels worse. The gift of thought is more like a curse, and it all hurts. And that's why I can't talk to anyone, and I would rather stay inside. You say hi, I can't look you in the eye. If you call me, there'll be no reply. So don't even try, 'cause I'm good, and I've been this way for too long. It's too late to change what's gone wrong. You're too better to just move on, move on. I can't care for myself, and I know that you're just trying to help, but I can't care for myself. How can I care about anyone else when I can't care for myself? I know that you're just trying to help, but I can't care for myself. How can I care about anyone else? And that's why I can't talk to anyone. I would rather stay inside. So goodbye, I can't be reached at this time. If you call me, there'll be no reply. So don't even try, I'm gone, and I've been this way for too long. It's too late to change what's gone wrong. You're too better to just move on. Just move on, so move on.
All right, and welcome back to the show. I'm going to play one more song, and this one I found a really cool story behind. So I wanted to play the song They Never Lie Down. I found that you guys had a neat error with this song. Can you tell us about that?
On the actual track, like the audio.
Correct.
Right. So there's this guitar part right before the outro of the song, after the last chorus. When the stems got sent, the stem got sent with the effect on it, not just the guitar. It was the guitar with an effect that we were trying in the studio, right? So it got sent with that radioed effect. When we had John start mixing it, he was like, "Where's the regular stem here? It's not here. Like I can't work with this." And we were like, "Oh." And when we went back, they did not have it. It was gone. So it was one of those moments where we tried a few different things, and it was like, it's either going to sound like this, and we have to accept it. We're going to have to do something completely different. Like, we weren't sure what we were going to do, but we ended up voting and decided that more of us liked it than hated it. So we kept that. I like it because I think it's funny and it sounds like a 90s alt rock thing.
Mhm.
But like Ace fucking hated it.
Oh,
He was
really?
vehemently against it. He said it was horrible. It's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Please, no. And that was one of those moments where Nick liked it, Ace hated it, and I was in the middle, and now I'm like, oh, I love it now. Who cares? It's funny. Like,
That's
to
cool.
me, I'm like, yeah, it definitely doesn't need it. But I don't know. There's a story, and we're talking about it right now, right? So,
Yeah,
down the
exactly.
line, I'll still think about that. Like, oh, we didn't even want it like that, but we had no choice. It stuck that way.
Well, I'll see if people at home pick up on what part we're talking about.
Yeah.
So here is They Never Lie Down by Keep Flying.
I need to live. I gotta see what happens. I have to see what will become of us. But the world, love makes everything more dangerous. We're leaves on the wind, so let the ride begin. We've come too far to turn back now. Might not make it out. Still can't trust my mind, running low on time. And I got everything to prove. I'm safer on the move. The earth won't stay beneath me. It's only New York air I'm breathing now. And lately, my body wants to take it easy. But Jersey traffic taught me never to slow down. We're leaves on the wind, so let the ride begin. I know my sins, we all know how this ends. So let the ride begin. We've come too far to turn back now. Might not make it out. Still can't trust my mind, running short on time. We don't ride down now. We never lie down. We never lie down. Can't trust my mind, running out of time. They never lie down. We never lie down. We got everything to prove.
Roll for initiative. Initiate these nuts.
All right, welcome back. You guys do a lot of like movie lines and little clips in your albums. Things from like Arrested Development, Planes, Trains, Automobiles. What is the process of getting quotes on your album? Like, do you guys talk about different shows, or how does that work?
Okay, well, this is a great question for me. I'm just gonna give you one of these.
Oh wow,
And then
there you go.
these, and then one of these. So I am like huge
Huge movie buff.
cinema guy. I've been wanting samples since the band started. I usually push that agenda hard in all of the previous music. I kind of wait for Henry to have lyrics and I start reading lyrics and I start to think of things that might work with that. But sometimes it's like something I happen to watch that week or like rewatch where I'm like, oh my God, that is perfect. That is what I need. And I'm very blessed to be in a band with people who most of the time have never seen these movies or shows, and they're just like, I mean, if you think it's cool, we're down with it. There was one thing we tried to get in on Survival that didn't make it. We wanted to try and get a Ferris Bueller quote, and wait, did we make it on there?
Ferris Bueller? If you did, I missed that one.
No, I don't think we did. I think that it didn't make.
Okay.
Unless it did. I think it did.
Huh. I missed that one.
No, it didn't. But there's another error on the audio.
Oh,
that
really?
I about right now. Yeah, it's at the end of Fire Sale. We had a Ferris Bueller sample. We ended up cutting it, but it was already put in the mix and it was already merged with the track. So when the decay happens at the very end of Fire Sale, unless it's Fashion Sale, but I think it's Fire Sale, you can hear the starting, just the small starting of the music that was in the background of the quote that was happening during Ferris Bueller, just for like a half a second. But it's the same key of the song, so it sounds like it's a part of it, but it's not. And I always hear it. No one else ever would hear that. But when I hear the track, I can't unhear it. I'm like, I hate that we tried to put that sample there and it didn't work, and I could still hear that it's about to go into it, and then it never does.
Yeah, that's funny. I missed that one.
Yeah, that got cut. That did get cut. I'm telling you, it's like a half a second. You wouldn't know because it sounds like it's part of the song. But it's
I'm gonna go back and try to find it now, though.
You'll hear it. You'll hear it now that I'm telling you. You'll be like, oh yeah, that sounds strange.
All right, very nice. Well, let's see if people at home can pick up on it. So here is Fire Sale by Keep Flying.
They've been sounding the alarms when I should be putting fires out. Just wanna stay comfortable while I sleep unsafe and sound. And they all tried to warn me, but they didn't say enough. And now the building is collapsing while I should be waking up. And I know it's not as scary with my eyes closed. And I know I'll be gone before anyone knows. There's no aftershock, cause it feels like a constant earthquake. Make it stop, cause I just need to stand up straight. I cannot live with my whole world crumbling around me. Just let me get my wits about Cause it feels like a constant earthquake. Make it stop. Cause I just need to stand up straight. I cannot live with my whole world crumbling around me. Just let me get my wits about me. Is it really spring again? The time it melts away. The fires keep burning. Could it last another day? I could have been rescued, but I chose to stay in here. Don't think I'm waking up. I'm sick of feelings. Is it really spring again? The time it melts away. The fires keep burning. Could it last another day? I could have been rescued, but I chose to stay in here. Don't think I'm waking up. I'm sick of feeling scared. I'm so sick of feeling scared. There's no aftershock. Cause it feels like a constant earthquake. Make it stop. Cause I just need to stand up straight. I cannot live with my whole world crumbling around me. It's crumbling all around me. Just let me get my wits about me.
Hey, Peter, wanna
Johnny,
pop
you
in?
see me?
What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
Yo, fucking, can I curse?
Yeah, go ahead.
My bad. Yo, yeah, I was playing fucking wiffle ball. Came back, 6-run comeback in the bottom of the ninth, then we blew it. All good though, you know?
I figured I'd bring you in as a special surprise for the end.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, we're just about to finish up. Thanks for popping in.
I said you can answer the next one.
Go ahead.
One point that was brought out because of COVID, I heard that you guys were about 6 months ahead of schedule for the new album. How is that coming along? Are you still making good progress on that?
Yeah, we're done. We still got like to release some stuff in the bank, you know what I'm talking about. But like, you know, we're done recording everything. Oh yeah, wait, but we are doing another recording, but I don't know how much I can speak on that. It's like not new songs, but it's like new songs. You'll understand.
Well, that's my next question. Is I heard that you guys were doing like a remix EP, and I was
yeah.
So that's still on the agenda.
Oh, that's still on the agenda, baby. We're going
nice.
June or July or May, one of those. I'm not sure. I
Very
gotta check my calendar.
June 28th to July
June-
2nd.
June 28th to July 2nd. I just checked. We are going, and we're gonna re-record the songs. Probably watch a little Planet of the Apes, and maybe play some wiffle ball.
Right on. One thing I wanted to bring out about you guys is you have a live album on smartpunk.com. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it rocks. We recorded it at Amityville Music Hall, our home venue. Was the holiday show in 2019, and it was the best show I ever played in my life. Probably best show I ever will play until the next
right on.
holiday. Lots of raw energy, totally uncut, unfiltered. You hear all the mess ups and all the screaming and wackiness on stage. I think it rocks for a band our size, of our level, to put out a live record is like kind of silly to some, but for us, it's like, fuck it, you know?
We
Gotcha.
didn't plan to do that. Jesse happened to record the audio at the back of the room with the Tascam, which is the cover art of the record. We did not take a board feed. And when he sent me the audio, like, I don't know, a week or two later, I was like, this is pretty good. Should we just put this on vinyl? And it took convincing. I will tell you, in the beginning, not everyone in my band was like, yeah, that sounds good. Some people were like, that sounds bad.
Not me.
Gotcha.
I was in from the beginning. I want to let that be known. I was in.
We're in.
I'm not a quitter.
And then we ran into like, it was too long. That's why it's on a 12-inch and 7-inch. We didn't want to cut anything because like everything was gold. Like the bits in between songs are just so funny. We were like, we can't cut this stuff.
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it's the whole show on there.
The
I
whole
don't think we cut actually anything. Like, sorry, everyone's arguing about wiffle ball outside. But
It's all good.
yeah, I don't think we cut anything. And I remember Jesse was just like, yo, like, yeah, I got a recording of the show. Like, here it is. Do you guys want to hear it? And we were like, holy shit, bro. I can't believe how awesome this sounds.
Awesome.
that task, and it's like you can hear the kick. You can like things that aren't mic'd, you're hearing, which is crazy.
Now, if I understand it correctly, that is a limited time thing. Like, that's not coming to digital streaming, is it?
It's
So
on Bandcamp, right?
yeah,
Oh, it is. Okay.
we put it up on Bandcamp because we had some people who wanted to hear it.
Gotcha.
But Henry made a very valid point when we released it about not putting it on streaming services because he was nervous, and I don't disagree, about people finding out about the band for the first time from that and hearing
Gotcha.
that kind of quality.
Gotcha.
That being said, I think it's something that we will eventually put up on all the streaming, just because why wouldn't we? Because if it's
Right.
going to generate some streams, then it's going to help us make a few dollars to record another record. So,
Okay.
eventually, why
So
not?
currently, for those that are interested, they can go to smartpunk.com or Bandcamp, correct? Gotcha.
And I think we only pressed 300 as a one-time thing. It's never going to get pressed again. We
Yeah.
decided right away. I think there's only like 25, and the only reason is because when it came out, we were in COVID. So
Gotcha.
if we were playing shows, we would have been selling these at the table. They would have been long gone already. But it's like we didn't push them that hard because we pushed other things too. And also those first few months of COVID, it was like people pushing things kind of like felt uncouth, like to ask people to give money when everybody was unemployed.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes
know?
sense. Now on the app Bands in Town for July 17th, it says you guys are going to be playing Four Chords Music Fest. Is that still on the table?
I can say this. I don't want to announce what's up with that, but I will say that is happening, but it is not happening July 17th. But we are playing the festival, and
Okay. So the app is wrong on that one. There we go.
well,
Yeah,
no,
because the new date hasn't been announced or
they
nothing yet.
haven't announced yet.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
The festival and our friend Rishi have not announced any change. That being said, patrons that have been emailing him, he has been telling them the new date. So it's not like he's hiding it. He's just
Gotcha.
waiting to lock in. He actually got a few more bands, and it's moving just a couple months to the fall. In the time frame that you would imagine where all the other festivals are. But we are still playing, and we're still very pumped.
Yeah, we're going to go hang out and have a good time and play some rock and roll music. Last time I was there, I ate 3 pita breads with hummus and broccoli, raw broccoli that I stole from catering. Sorry.
The last part of my show, I just ask everybody what would they like to say to their fans, but for you guys, it's a little different because you guys have a mini documentary on YouTube for the Unbreakable documentary.
Yep.
And it was really, really cool because you interviewed many of your fans. And one thing that really stuck out to me was how so many of them talked about it being a community and like family. So I just think that was really, really cool that you guys have that close connection with your fans. So what would you like to say to your fans?
Ligma.
That's pretty good. That's actually exactly what I was going to say.
They
I'll
know.
say-
The fans know, bro.
I will say this. I'm very happy to see most of our people have either gotten vaccinated or are trying to get back to normal in whatever way that is. We will play shows sooner than we anticipated earlier this year. We will play this summer. We will play our home venue. We will have official survival release shows. We will do all this stuff, and we will do it in the summer before the fall when music really is like fully snapped back. We're gonna take a few steps in advance, and we want all of our people to feel comfortable and come and have a good time and let loose with us.
Very cool.
Because that's the way that the first shows back should be. And they're all going to be shows that everyone will be able to afford because they're going to cost next to nothing or be donation based to things that we love, that friends that are struggling. And we're going to rip it. We're going to play all of our damn songs, every single one of them.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I would have to say to friends or fans of the band is it's very easy to stop giving a shit about a small DIY band like us when we're not playing shows. There's nothing going on. So just anyone who still gives a fuck and anyone who's still supporting, streaming, buying merch, anyone who's expressed interest in coming to the shows, just thanks, because it makes me feel really good.
It's going to be like a crazy fun first couple shows back. It's going to be just like a family reunion, because that's how our home show
cool.
feels like a family reunion.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like back to the live record, the home shows, like I hear people jumping on the mic that it's like I know exactly who that is, and I can picture everyone in the front row, everyone at the show. I think it's safe to say we're friends with 85% of people at that show.
That's awesome.
It feels good.
Very cool. Well, for those watching at home, I'll have a link in the description below with where you can follow the band. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Peter, that was a nice surprise, man. Thank you so much for jumping on. And,
hey, man, thanks for having me.
John, I appreciate it. Tell
Of
Henry
course.
I said thank you, and we'll catch you guys next week with a new band. Have a
And
good
let's
night.
go Mets.
Let's go Mets. Let's go Bills. All right.
Yo, all right. See you guys later. Bye.
All right, thanks.